So, good morning, UK. Good evening, Australia. Now, special guest all the way from the future is the Ginger Ninja. So we'll see if the satellite link is working. Are you there, Sydney? There he is.
G'day. I can hear you fine. You're coming in loud and clear all the way from the past.
Oh, yes, I remember the Dame and the specials. She had a lot of problems with her satellite connection. So,
Well, we've increased our technological superiority amongst the world.
well, yes, being in the future helps that, doesn't
Yeah. Well, also when you're fighting all those dangerous creatures everywhere in Australia,
it?
got to have an advantage somehow.
Well, yeah, you got your crocs, you got your spiders, you got your snakes, you got your kangaroos. They'll give you a nasty bunch of koalas.
drop bears. Can't forget them.
You say that when I was there was I nearly came across a red-bellied snake.
Yeah, no, they're not fun. Interesting side note, they actually found the largest funnel web spider just the other day. Largest, and that thing is a monster.
I've seen one climbing over a shed in Brisbane, so I can only imagine how big that one is.
I'm not afraid of spiders, but I would run fast.
Yeah, Australia, it's a beautiful country. You can't go walking through it if the heat doesn't get you.
Well, I'm not saying Ned Kelly had the right idea with the suit of armor, but
damn, it's one film I didn't pick up. I don't know if I got one. But we are going to discuss Aussie films. So, first of all, what is an Aussie film? Because this is the same as British films. Is it someone that's produced by the British, directed by the British, written by the British, and all acted by the British, or does it have to be just a certain element that makes it?
Well, I think there's a few different things that make an Aussie film. First of all, the landscape where it's set is iconic. It's like you look at some of the films like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It heavily features the Australian outback. However, it does have a lot of American actors in it. Also, a lot of Australian actors as well. Then on the other side, you look at something like Street Fighter or Scooby-Doo or X-Men Origins Wolverine. Granted, they're not the best films in any way, shape, or form, but they're all filmed in Australia. They have some Australian actors in them. Does that make them Australian? Yeah, I think so. We'll take ownership of them.
take the good and the bad.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so many things that, you look at the Australian films, it's got, obviously the Australian accent is quite iconic. You've got, like I said, the landscape. There's so many things, but I don't think it's just one thing that makes a film Australian.
Yeah, because they've got that Island in the Stars that Vernon Wells is trying to make, which is filmed in Australia. Half the Australians, the crew is Australians, and the money's global. Right.
Yeah.
I got a pile of tapes here. No, you've got a pile of films as well. So I remember Matrix, the trilogy is that Australian because it was all filmed in Australia, wasn't it?
It was. So yeah, we'll take that one. we won't take the latest one. Like that's we won't talk about that one. But
yeah, because I guess Hugo Weaving.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the smaller actors into Australian as well. Like but yeah, Hugo Weaving, huge Aussie actor. So yeah, we'll take that.
I'm trying to think, where did I first see him? I guess it was Priscilla he's in, isn't it?
Yep.
I think that was the first time I saw him in a film. Now, I'm not sure you want to take this one, but this iconic Aussie film with a Kiwi.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it's a great film. It's a great film, I'll give it that. But it's, a very, very in-your-face film. Like, it's not a easy watch, to say the least.
No.
But Russell Crowe's great in it.
He's so slim in it. That's what always throws me off.
Yeah. Nothing like he is now. But I mean, that was made what? That was made in 92, 93?
Yeah, that's good. I remember this because I think they tried to ban it in the UK because it was 92. I'm not sure if this might be cut, this video version, but so I think was it other films? I think was it The Picnic at Hanging Rock was the first one that took the world by storm for Aussie Americans, wasn't it? With Peter Weir.
Yeah, that one was massive. I picked that up recently on DVD and watched it, and then me and my partner, we went to the location where it's filmed. Not the Hanging Rock, that's in Victoria. Martindale Hall in Mintara, and it's this massive, just stately manor is probably the best way to describe it. And they've kept it in the same condition that it was in the film. But that film's just amazing. Like it has the Australian landscape in it, and it sets it apart from everything else. It's very haunting and very surreal.
Yeah, because I think I'm trying to think that's before Walkabout, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah, I think Hanging Rock was 1975.
Yeah, definitely an old one.
Yeah,
because didn't they do
not sure when Walkabout was. Yeah, they did. No, Walkabout was 71.
Oh, okay.
So Walkabout was first. Yeah, they did the TV show with one of the ladies from Game of Thrones. She was in it. I got about halfway through it. I couldn't stick with it.
I didn't hear good things about it either, so I avoided it. But because Picnic at Hanging Rock is just like a group of girls go to this area and then disappear without a trace, isn't it?
Yeah. Just gone without a trace, never to be seen from again.
Yeah. And then still not, because people said it was a hoax and stuff like that, but they've never put any proof of anything either way.
I think the movie embellishes a lot on what happened. So,
well, I guess
but still, it's a great story.
Yeah, it's well made from Peter Weir. Who? What else we got from? So, where is it? My pirate tapes. There it is. Well, Russell Crowe again, but Peter Weir. Unfortunately, the only film in the franchise. But yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I remember that being quite good.
It's a very good film, yes. Even the historians like it, which is unusual for these sort of films. I can't remember if it was filmed in Australia or not, but...
No, it's been a while since I've seen that one, but I do recall it being quite good. Like, very, very good.
So then we can move on to the 80s and what made Australia really popular at the time. It can't be helped but mention the Pogues in Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, he's got that whole thing when he does with the water buffalo. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Yeah,
exactly. What's it?
Yeah, no, that's still a good film. I was actually on TV recently. I watched a bit of it, and I'm like, that actually still, well, it doesn't quite hold up, but it's still shot really well. Like, it's filmed really well.
Yeah, because it does New York and Australia justice.
Yeah.
By the look at it. I think it's mostly Peter Feynman. I think it's Australian.
Yep.
Who directed it? But yeah, he and then of course he reversed it by going New York to Australia in the second one, because that was a big hit as well. Only 2 years later, and then we'll ignore the third one for now.
Yeah. I honestly don't think I've seen the third one. I think I've only seen this Crocodile Dundee 2. I think I've only seen that a couple of times, but the original, it was something that was always on TV. But yeah, it was one that I hide out on VHS heaps of times. It's just a fun movie.
It is, isn't it? And if we look closely behind you probably see Paul Hogan still working on the Sydney Bridge.
Yeah, that's him just over here. He's taking a bit of a kip at the moment. It's been a hot day.
Well, yes, being 80 something, because he was in his 40s in the 80s, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think he's ageless. I don't think he's aged a day.
Because he did do a comedy recently where it was called Welcome, Mr. Dundee, or something it was called, and
Yeah,
had Olivia Newton-John and people in it, making a big
it
one of
was.
those awkward films. I quite enjoyed it. It was light enough that it was just enjoyable.
Yeah, you'd put it on in the background or something like that. It's not one that drew me right in, but it was okay.
And then, of course, probably apart from Peter Weir, one of the other big Australian directors, George Miller. Because
Yep.
where would we be without Babe?
Ah, I thought you were going a different direction there.
Thought I'd pull the rug under you. Because, yeah, he is very versatile.
Yeah, he is. And obviously he's got his new one coming out, or they're doing that one. Not Babe 3, no. It's the next installment of the Mad Max saga.
Well, yes, after what happened on Babe 2, who knows what the hell he was thinking.
Yeah.
That one's a weird one.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many Australian films. Like you can go from one extreme to the next. Like you can go from Mad Max to Babe in the same sitting.
Here he is.
There you go.
This
still
should be
classic.
Yeah, it should be the Australian version because, of course, the Americans got a dubbed version with the American voices because they don't understand Australian.
And they changed the name of it too, like the Road Warrior.
Yeah, that's a second one. Yeah, we got it Mad Max 2.
Yeah,
they got it Road Warrior, and now it's called Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior, I believe, on whatever format you have. But then that was big enough hit. I think probably didn't make it in the cinemas over there, but then they, of course, knew who he was by the time they did the third one. But yeah, I think the second film came out before the first one properly in America.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, granted that the storyline really doesn't do a lot of. Oh, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Because 1 minute it's quite desolate and everything, but that's Australia for you. And next thing, it's post-apocalyptic wasteland. That's also Australia for you.
Yeah, I've tried to follow the story. Like they should make a middle film between 1 and 2 to show
what happened.
Yeah, because I don't think there's been a nuclear bomb or whatever in the first film, but then they took.
I think it was
the detonation.
It was just the oil shortage basically, and probably something more poignant, global warming and stuff. So probably a combination of the two.
Yeah. Let's have a look. So then, of course, a big Aussie film of 2000s. Because this is pretty much the only film that's mostly in one place. Like I think he goes to Spain at some point, but mostly all Australia. Yeah,
that was probably my least favorite of the Mission Impossible series.
Most people's least favorite, isn't it?
I don't know. It just it's just not a memorable. For me, it's not a memorable film. Like the rest of them, I can always think of something in the franchise that stood out for me. But that one, I think it had Dougray Scott, and I remember because he was originally supposed to be Wolverine, which then was taken over by Hugh Jackman, another Aussie.
They're everywhere. It's like the Canadians. They don't know some people don't know they're not Americans, so they take them in on their own. What other directors have we got here? Oh, of course, Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah.
I've never seen the film Australia. Have you?
No.
That's good.
I think it's like super long or something, and to be honest, my attention span, if it gets over 90 minutes, I kind of start to drift off.
Yeah, it's certainly an epic. I think it's probably close to 3 hours, isn't it? And it's going to be made into a TV series or something now. I think I heard, but
would not surprise me. Like it's probably big enough to do that.
Oh, we got g'day mates, cadaver clubs here.
Hello.
We find the crocodiles offensive when it's referenced to Australians. Because I went up north in Australia once, as high as the Barrier Reef and stuff, and we went on a croc trip down the river, and then this little wooden boat with about 12 people on, and then going past these crocs that are bigger than the boat. And then he reverses the boat back so you can get a closer look at the crocs. You think that's close enough.
Like this movie,
The Great Rogue.
Yeah, like I don't know if you can see that too well, but yeah, huge fan of that one. And I mean, that's perfect for crocodiles. If you're going up north, that's the movie you want to see before you go.
It is great because it's not gory, but it's certainly shocking and surprising and a very great movie. Because I think there you go, it's a kick-ass movie, so that is true. Because what's his name's in it? Pre-Avatar and Terminator, and every other time they try to put him in a film. What's his name?
But he plays an absolute. Yeah, he plays a jackass in it.
Yeah, just showing his butt. There was a kangaroo emoji, but yeah, it must have got blocked because it's offensive.
Everything's offensive nowadays. Yeah, the practical effects in Rogue were fantastic. Like, that croc looks like a dinosaur, like a real life dinosaur. It's nuts.
Yeah, I fancy watching it again. I guess we can get on to the monster movies because I'm trying to think. Because got your croc in Rogue. Is it, Bait has sharks going into a Brisbane or the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
well, that's another good one.
Yep. I mean, you go back in the day, you've got Razorback.
I was thinking of Razorback because that scared me as a kid.
Yeah, classic. But then they recently redid it with not a remake as such, but Boar.
I remember. I never got around to watching it. Is it any good?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's got a huge Australian cast, and a lot of Aussies, if they watch it, they'll pick certain people in it because they're blink and you miss it moments. Like one person, Australian personality, Ernie Dingo, he's in it. But if you didn't know who he was, you'd just think, oh, he's an actor. But an Aussie will pick up on it and be like, yeah. But then it's also got Bill Moseley in it.
Oh, so, right.
Yeah. But giant, boar, like hunting down people and killing them. That's a lot of fun to watch.
What's the one I watched the other day? Oh, a few months ago now. It's got the guy from Wolf Creek in it, but as a young bloke hunting a croc up in the Northern Territory. Exactly. And that's because that's really bad because Aborigine kids are picked off in that one. It's quite because they're playing in the river, of course. It's quite nasty, but see if anyone knows in the chat.
Well, I mean, he was in Rogue as well. Yeah, so...
yes, he is, isn't he? Because completely different characters. Wolf Creek in that one. Bait. Because Razorback is one of those classic ones that keeps coming back in different formats, isn't it? I saw it on TV back in the day. Bloody hell.
Was it Dark Age? Was that the
okay, that's it. That's it. It's free on YouTube.
Yeah, 87. Probably will.
It was very good because it is more, I guess more.
No, it's also out on Umbrella too. So Umbrella Entertainment in Australia, they do a lot of classic Aussie films. They've actually got a free streaming service as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah. If it's good enough quality, because I think it's probably a DVD quality on YouTube. The Reef. That's another shark one, isn't it? Is that an Australian?
I'm not sure I've seen that one. The Reef.
Is it Black Creek? Is that the other croc one?
Blackwater.
Blackwater. That's the one.
And they've also got the sequel, Blackwater Abyss, which I do have. I just don't have it up here with me.
Yeah. I can't remember if I saw that one. Yeah. Is that the one on the riverbed and they're climbing through the trees to avoid the crocs? I think
they do that in Rogue as well.
Yes. Oh, there you go. It's the same. The Reef is Australian because it's the same director. Right, nice.
I know it's interesting because there was a very similar, like, because there was one that was based on a true story where a couple were left after they were scuba diving.
Yeah,
they were left, and I'm not sure if that's the same one. If the Reef is based on that or not.
Was that
Maybe it
open
is,
water?
maybe it isn't. Open water, that's it, yeah.
Right. Yeah. The
Yeah,
danger
they've
zone.
also got a sequel to The Reef as well, called Stalked. I'm not sure if that's Australian or what the go is with that.
I'm trying to look in the background. Oh, right. Check my list of what I was gonna Australian films, because what counts as Australian films is a bit weird according to this list. Like Crocodile Dundee, this is money wise. Crocodile Dundee #1, Australia #2, Babe #3, Elvis from 2 years ago is #4.
Yeah.
I guess Baz Luhrmann did it. Oh, Happy Feet, I forgot about that. And
Yeah.
George Miller again doing animation this time. Moulin Rouge, and then The Great Gatsby. Crocodile Dundee 2, Peter Rabbit 2, Strictly Ballroom, because that's Baz's first film. That put him on the map, didn't it? Mad Max Fury Road, Red Dog.
Yeah.
Do you know the Red Dog? What's that one?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. I think it's got the guy from he was in True Blood, Ryan Quanten. I think he's in it.
Oh, yes. I know.
Yeah, don't think I've actually seen it.
Okay. Oh, got Exploitation Cargo. Interesting take on a zombie film. Don't know that one.
Yeah, Cargo was good. That was a movie that was like they did a smaller take one, like a low budget one. It was done in the festivals, garnered enough interest, and got enough funding for it. I think what's his name, Martin something, was the guy that was in it. He was also in Sherlock.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the main star of it. That was pretty good. That was a very good film, actually. I really do need to get that.
That's it, Martin Freeman. Yeah. Hang on. Picnic account. Yeah. Very well.
Yeah, there's no answer to it, so it feels.
There you go. I'll try it later. Right. Yeah. So Gregor's here. Good evening. Good morning, Gregor, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever everyone is. It's hard to keep up. Right. Yeah. Let's have a look. Where do we get to? The Red Dog, The Dry in 2021. Do you know that one?
Yeah, that's a tough watch. Really good. Eric Bana's in it, and is fantastic. So, but it's very dark and very, it's good. That's all I can say about it. I don't want to spoil it, because if no one's seen it, they really do. It's just phenomenal.
It's not the one where he went to investigate a crime in a small town or something?
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, that's a bloody good film.
Yeah.
We'll just recommend it. So go in blind to watch it. Yeah, that was good. That's your geek. It is early, but I have to be up early for the Australians. But good morning. Hang on, Sunday. It's nearly 10 a.m. The Dressmaker. 2015.
Can't say I've heard of that one. No.
And then, this one. This is next. The Dish. I saw this in the cinema. This is a very nice film.
Yeah, Sam Neill.
Because I can't see the director of it, but yeah, it was made in Australia. Was it 2002?
The moon landing or something. I'm pretty sure.
Because of the Earth spinning, they needed 2 big satellites on either side of the Earth to pick up the signals. And then once America was offline, Australia took over. And then, of course, it's in the middle of a sheep farm. And
Rob Sitch was the director. He's an Australian comedian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very light film, but there are some serious parts to it as well. So
yeah.
I just realized what time it is. Yeah. So I will warn you that I may have to nip out for 2 minutes if the bell rings. So I'll leave you talking.
Yeah, I've got
you've got plenty to talk.
Stack of films here as well. So.
The Nightingale. Which one's the Nightingale? Is that Emma Roberts, or is that something else I'm thinking of?
No, that's I've not watched it, but I've heard tales of this film. Very, very hard watch from what I hear. Like Cadaver Club says, yeah, it's set in the Tasmanian wilderness in 1820s, or a really long time ago. There's, lots of trauma that happens.
Yeah, the Babadook. So yeah, that was well received when it came up, but now it's been people don't like the kid in it. Seems these days.
Still one that I have not seen, and it's actually filmed in the suburb just behind me. Like I've been past the main house, so.
Well, there you go. It's very good though.
Yeah.
I guess the 9 film. Yeah, I heard very good things. Now you mentioned what it's about, but yeah, it's it's not fun. It's not a Sunday afternoon film, is it? Right, what's this? The Snowtown Murders.
The Snowtown Murders. That's in my backyard. My partner, she actually grew up in that area, and where the bodies were stored, I've been to that bank. Yeah. It's again brutal, but if you do know a little bit behind it, it's easy to understand. But it's just, it's a tough watch.
Okay, well, these Australians and their tough watches. Yeah. Oh yeah, you've got to watch the Babadook now. It's on the list, I guess. All right, you take care. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.
Yeah, the kid. That's what everyone says. The kid's annoying, and the ending is lame.
Yeah.
It does change the film. The ending.
I've heard that so much about it. Like it's good.
Well, yeah, that's what puts you off watching it, isn't it? Because
the
kid's in all the way through, and then you find out the ending wasn't worth the time. But it's well made because it's like shoestring budget, of course, all filmed in one house.
Yeah.
See, definitely watch Razorback. It will freak you out. This giant pig terrorizing a town. I forgot. Yeah, I didn't have Gallipoli, of course.
Yeah,
the famous one. That's Peter Weir as well, isn't it? With
not 100% sure who filmed that. But yeah, that was another one that was always on TV.
Yeah, it was always on TV here as well during the 80s. Usually at Christmas, I think, just for that Christmas mood.
Yeah. Peter Weir directed that. So, but I mean, Mel Gibson was in it, so.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look,
I can't remember his first film role. Or
I think it was. I'm trying to think if that was which one was before. Like, was it Mad Max or was it?
Yeah, because I remember all his films came out at one go on VHS. It's like Tim.
Yeah.
Do you remember Tim, where he plays a simpleton or something?
Yeah. Mad Max and Tim, 79. Gallipoli was 81.
Okay. Oh, quite a few years later. Right.
Yeah. But then Mad Max 2 was also 81 as well, yeah. So he had that big string of films that all came out in the same go.
Yeah, definitely remember seeing everything. Trying to think of the one with Sigourney Weaver he's in. The Year of Living Dangerously.
Yeah.
Another early 8 one.
That was a great one. Like, I remember watching that years and years ago and really enjoying that.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it because I haven't seen it since then. But I remember it's a good like political thriller or something like that. Right, we go.
Yeah.
This one was always on VHS trailers back in the day. The Man from Snowy River from 1982.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He goes down everywhere. Rides a horse straight down the embankment, straight down the hill. Almost dropped straight down, but yeah. It's actually back in my youth, that was one of the movies that got me into horse riding.
There you go. Because there was Return to Snowy River as well, I think I remember. And then the last one on this list is The Water Diviner from 2014. Never heard of that?
It rings a bell, but I don't think it's one that I've seen.
Right, let's have a look. Rob says Dark City.
Yeah.
Is it Alex Proyas or something? Or is that?
Yep.
So yeah, he did what? iRobot, and other stuff. As I remember
The Crow.
The Crow.
He
It
directed
was
The
I was
Crow.
thinking The Crow. I didn't want to say it so
Yeah.
wrong, but yeah.
Knowing with Nicolas Cage.
Oh yes, that was filmed in Australia, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It's the one with the plane crash, isn't it? Yeah, the plane crash and spoilers, aliens.
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to go for Australian films, like Ghost Rider, that was filmed in Australia, in Melbourne. It's the remake to Salem's Lot, not the new one that's coming out, but they did one. I think it was
around 2000s with
Rob Lowe, Andre Brower, but that was filmed in Victoria. Little work. I knew where it was filmed, and I had been there before, so of course I got it on DVD, and I'm like, yeah, this is shit. But I recognize the places. So.
You can look back at how it looked back 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Dark City is a great film. Isn't that Keith Sutherland in that one?
Keith Sutherland's in it, yeah. Melissa George.
Favorite role of one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good film. Like, it's a bit of a twisty, mind-bendy type film, but it's a lot of fun.
We've got horrors like Howling 3, The Marsupials, of course.
Oh, God.
Classics like that.
Look, it's better than The Howling 2.
Hey, you get off my channel.
Got to defend the Aussie film, I mean, look, The Howling 2 did at least have Christopher Lee in it, so
It did. Poor bastard with those shades on and Sybil Danning.
Yes.
All right, well.
But I mean, one movie you haven't mentioned.
Oh yes,
Young Einstein.
It was on the list of one of the Australians. So yeah, I saw that in the cinema because it was advertised everywhere when it came out. I think they were trying to get the Crocodile Dundee because it came out a year after Crocodile Dundee 2 when it was still Aussies for everything.
88, and like it was just such a fun movie. Like I still remember the trailer, and the pie comes out with the kittens in it. He opens it up and the kittens run out. Like,
yes, it was good fun. I don't know. Is it on Blu-ray or I don't think?
I'm trying to find. I've found a couple of sellers on eBay with DVDs, but nothing yet. Same with he did a couple of follow-ups, Reckless Kelly and Mr. Accident, but trying to find them's like, it's not easy.
I'm beginning to suspect his real name wasn't Yahoo Serious as well.
Legally changed his name, I believe, but
that makes sense.
And he also did try and sue Yahoo.
Of course.
Yeah.
Worth a try, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can't use my name.
But yeah, I think Yahoo Serious was in the cinema, but Reckless Kelly, I think, went straight to DVD here. But how many Ned Kelly films have there been? I think there's Heath Ledger's one, isn't there? And then there's Rolling
Mick
Stones
Jagger.
Mick Jagger's one, and then been a few others with the character in.
Oh yeah, it's non-stop. Like, if they want to do an Australian film, they've got to have Nick Kelly. Like, it's a law.
The trouble is, the more and more young people probably haven't a clue who he is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the last one was 2003, and that was the one with Heath Ledger.
Yeah, so that is going back a bit, isn't it? So many films here. But what do they count as? There's Proof with. I've seen
Russell Crowe one, isn't it?
Let's have a look. It's the bloody website which keeps still. Yeah, Russell Crowe and Hugo Weaving.
Yeah,
I think he's a blind photographer. I think Hugo Weaving is. Oh, all right. Tesco's is here. I will give you a couple of minutes if you can talk about something.
Cool.
I'll be right back. Thanks.
I can talk about lots of things. So, look, I picked up a couple of films just from my own collection to have a look at as well. And I did speak about not Arrow, but Umbrella, an Australian company which brings out some great films. They did some exploitation cheapies. And let me get this in line here. Turkey Shoot. This is just like balls to the wall crazy. Like, it's an Aussie classic. I do want to. You can hear it rattling. I want to open it, but I haven't. But Turkey Shoots came out in the 70s, and it was just batshit crazy. I'll try and bring up some information on it. Oh, sorry, it was 82. It has Steve Railsbeck and Olivia Hussey. It's set in a dystopian future where deviants are held in re-education camps. Yeah, I could go on, but it's crazy. Definitely recommend you check it out. And of course, Patrick. This one's both the original and the remake. I've actually only seen the remake. I haven't seen the original, but I do want to check it out. It's an all-time classic, I know, and I will get around to watching it eventually. But yeah, there's just so many Aussie films that trying to narrow it down. Like, if you look at the best Aussie films, you come up with a list of so many. Candy with Heath Ledger again, fantastic Aussie actor. Then you look at Moulin Rouge, which Baz Luhrmann directed, which Gareth mentioned previously. And I mean, then you've got things like this. Wolf Creek. Like, this one, it's a bit of a conundrum, this one, because not only does it showcase the Australian outback and the beauty of it, but also how terrifying it is, because, yeah, like, there's miles and miles of nothing, and then just one random person shows up and messes with everything. We've got Agoraphobe in the chat. Hey, Gore, how you doing? And yeah, Dark City, Electric Geek. It's a fantastic film. Like, I think the special effects aren't great, but given the year it was filmed, yeah, it's pretty good. And it's got a great cast. And like I said, Melissa George is in it, and whatever she's in, I'll watch. Yeah, Greg John, Wolf Creek was brutal, definitely. And me and Goraphobe, we did a watch along with that, and it's a tough watch, but it's so good. It's definitely worth it. If you have not seen Wolf Creek, highly recommend you check it out. Okay, this one, again, going with Melissa George. Now, we discussed this, what makes an Australian film, but Triangle.
Oh, yes.
Big Australian cast, Australian set movie. Oh no, it's set in Florida but filmed in Australia. So
of course it is. Because I guess the location makes zero difference to it, does it?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they can film it anywhere, but this is like, it's a trip of a film. Like, it's really good.
I can't work out every time I watch it. I try and think, right, that's happening because, but then the whole ending switches it around.
Yeah, I was just discussing Wolf Creek as well.
Is it 3 films and a TV show, or is it 2 films?
2 films. There is a third one coming out, and 2 seasons of a TV series.
Right, bloody hell.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the second season. I need to see it.
But yes.
But yeah, I mean, there's so. I guess I did show off my Ozploitation classics as well with Turkey Shoot.
Oh yeah, because I was surprised I got a special edition, like Blu-ray. Who's it from? What company did that one?
Umbrella Entertainment. Yeah.
Who's in that?
And Patrick. Steve Railsbeck and Olivia Hussey.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got the yeah. Well, I've not seen it in a while. I need to get around to watching it, and it's probably going to be. I'll probably do it in my Trashy Tuesdays.
Oh yes, it's definitely that.
Yeah, but I've got so many lined up that I'm like, I need to get that in there somewhere because that fits in so well.
Speaking of Turkey Shoot, yeah, Mr. Binney did that video. He's got that VHS.
Yeah,
Here he is. Got Aussies on.
Of course he does. He if you need a VHS and it's like completely crazy, he's going to have it.
Yeah.
Like I did Street Trash recently, and I'm sure I've seen that on his wall of VHS tapes. I'm sure of it because every time he puts a video out, I see something. I'm like, oh man, I remember that. Like,
Definitely. All the old posters and everything on the covers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just realised just under you is the horse from going down the cliff on Snowy River.
Oh yeah, it's almost me riding. Yeah.
Yeah. So, there was one other. Well, was it Highlander? That was directed by Russell McKay.
Russell, yeah.
I just pronounced it, but he had quite a long career with Highlander 2, and then he did the third Resident Evil film. But yeah, it started off in music videos.
Funnily enough, that was probably my favorite Resident Evil film.
I do like the third one.
The third one, yeah,
light in the desert and
yeah. But I hated Highlander 2. I hated it.
Well, you obviously haven't seen the Renegade cut. Where they try to separate or keep out the alien stuff and make it just a Highlander film, but yeah.
I think they had it on Tubi, the Renegade cut, but I started watching it and then it's got more of the aliens in it. I'm like, this makes no sense. What's going on here? And I'm just like, nah.
But it's one of those films that is set in 2024, apparently. So, he showed off Street Trash a few times.
Yeah,
he's got such an awesome cover. Another Australian director, Philip Noyce.
Yep,
did come. Also produced by George Miller, of course. Now Sam Neill's a Kiwi, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah,
he is. So we'll take no blame for that.
So yeah, Philip Noyce.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he is. Of course, he's on the dish as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I guess
and
Russell Crowe get mistaken for Australians, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, technically Mel Gibson as well. He was born in America but grew up in Australia. But then you've got Dead Calm. You've got Nicole Kidman.
With a bare ass.
Yeah. But I mean, I still remember her in BMX Bandits.
That's the first thing I think of. Big curly red hair.
Yeah.
Peddling from the real gangsters, because there's real threat in that one, even though it's a kid's film.
Yeah, but it's it's classic.
Yeah, that's the first time I saw her as well.
I mean, she's gone on to do a lot more. But I mean, Dead Calm is still peak period for Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, just before Days of Thunder. I guess
kind of went downhill after that, I reckon.
Yeah, well, she was in Australia as well, wasn't she, with Hugh Jackman?
Yeah. I mean, she was also in Aquaman, but look, Aquaman wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, Green Lantern was filmed in Australia as well. Superman Returns was filmed in Australia.
Yeah,
I think all the big budgets went over there for the tax break. There's Water Diviner. That's with Russell Crowe. Attack Force Z, of course, is a classic.
Yep.
Mel Gibson in
Did that? Yeah, it did have Mel Gibson. Yeah.
Sam Neill as well.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I keep forgetting he's in it. But of course, Mel Gibson's not the main character in it, but he's on the poster, of course.
No.
Oh, everyone's picking Dark City is awesome.
Yeah.
Good morning, film movie recall. So yeah.
Now I don't think you mentioned it, but what about Chopper?
Chopper, of course. Eric Bana's big breakout. It was like Russell Crowe and him doing he did Romper Stomper and Eric Bana doing Chopper, so sort of their big breaks.
And I mean, Eric Bana was, if you look at his history, like prior to Chopper, he was a comedian and he did some really funny skits on shows like Full Frontal, things like that. And some of his characters on there, just, you can't help but laugh at them. They're that good. And then we see him in Chopper, and he is so different from anything we've seen before. And I can't help but draw parallels to like how a lot of American actors, when they're trying to break out, they go into horror, but they do really bad. At least Eric Bana nailed it. Like, I don't think I've seen a film where he has not been absolutely amazing in it, and that includes Hulk.
Yes, Hulk, Star Trek, because he disappears into the roles, doesn't he? That's one of those actors.
Yeah. Yeah, Star Trek. I keep forgetting he was in Star Trek. Yeah.
Exactly. But yes, the Matrix trilogy was filmed in Australia because in the second film they had that stretch of road that was being built they could use for all those car stunts. Now, Corphobes never seen Street Trash for some reason. It's a film.
Yeah, look,
what is it?
It's worth a watch. It's one of those ones which you watch it and you're like, I can't believe I watched that, but I'm kind of glad I did.
Yeah, because I went in blind to see it like a few years ago for the first time because I thought it was like this mysterious drink is melting people that after they drink it, the homeless. I thought there's going to be like a police detective coming in and tracking down all the bottles. Nope, nothing like that at all. The police appear once, I think, to investigate one death, but then it just goes off the rails with.
Look, I watched it, recently, and I'm interested in what they do. They're remaking it.
Oh, of course, I did see that because I was looking after the director.
But it looks as though it's got more of a plot to it. Like, do you really need a plot?
Yes. Snowtown's mentioned again. Everyone's mentioning Snowtown. They've all seen it, but it's rough.
It is. I mean, Gore, he knows his films. Like, doesn't matter where they're from, Australian, American, UK. Yeah.
Now, I just noticed in the bottom right of my picture, Dogs, something with Michael Hutchinson. I did not know that existed.
Dogs in Space.
Oh, fucking hell.
Dogs in Space. Yeah. I remember seeing it on VHS, but I don't think I ever actually watched it. I was never a big In Excess fan, so.
Yeah, I think I only like the Lost Boys soundtrack. That's before him. He was in it, wasn't it? Or was it his first song? I can't remember now. One of those. Right. So speaking of Australian horrors, we haven't got round to Neighbours and Home and Away.
That's it. I'm out.
Oh no, we've got to talk about it because half the people in all these films we mentioned started their careers on those shows.
They did, and they still do. Even though Neighbours ended, they are bringing it back.
Back by popular demand.
Yeah,
I
think there was one stage where I started getting into it. More probably, for what they are, they're just so tacky and cheesy. But I think now that the newer episodes, they've kind of tried to stray more from that cheesiness to more serious roles. But it's I've got no time for those ones anymore. I just can't bring myself. But I guess it's like that'd be like the EastEnders. I hear people talking about that, and a lot of people go from EastEnders to movies or something like that. Is that?
I think it's the other way around with EastEnders. They seem to get people that used to be in movies, like Barbara Windsor and such. I don't think many people go the other way. Like, well, I guess Neighbours doesn't do that much these days either, but because you had Jason Donovan, Kylie Minogue, Guy Pearce, because he went to do big things. But they started off music and then films, but
but it's also even like Melissa George mentioned her. She was in Home and Away. Ada Nicodemo, who was in The Matrix, she had a small role. She was in Home and Away as well. So I mean, it was. Last I heard, there was a bushfire in Home and Away, and there was a kidnapping in Neighbours, or a bomb threat or something, or buildings. I can't follow it. All I know is if you come to Australia, do not go to those places because all the bad stuff always happens there.
I did visit the set in where is it in Melbourne of
Yeah.
Neighbours. They weren't filming that day, but yeah, you could see all the houses. There's Paul's house, and when he was off with the twins or whatever he was doing. Oh yes, Goropho's to bed because take care. Oh, he's fell asleep before he could finish.
Take it easy, mate.
Right, what else?
Yeah, because what time is it over there? Like, it's probably like, was it 4 o'clock in the morning over? Oh, jeez.
It's got to be very early. So Wormwood Apocalypse. That's what I've seen.
Well, first off, you've got Wormwood Road of the Dead.
I have to say.
And then its sequel, Wormwood Apocalypse.
Mm.
Great movies. Great movies.
I definitely seen the first one. I can't remember the second. Yeah, they're crazy fun, aren't they?
Yeah. I think I do prefer the first one, but the second one has a better budget.
And we've also got.
But I think they also made this one here, Necrotronic.
Right. What's that one about? One of those.
I couldn't explain it if I tried. It's completely crazy, but it does have Monica Bellucci in it.
Oh, right. Oh, actually, it's
yeah,
up on my list here. It's about demons. Okay. This looks
fun. Yeah, but it's something to do with the internet as well. It's a lot of fun, but it's out there.
All right. I can't remember if I've seen that, but it rings a bell, but not enough. Where are we at?
Deathstone. Out of Body. That's I know, that rings a bell.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It didn't appear on the lists I got, but it's not. There's so many films. We haven't got. We thought about stuff like Muriel's Wedding, and then you got The Castle, Animal Kingdom, The Loved Ones. That's the one I was trying to think of. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Like you people being drilled into their heads.
Yeah. It was another channel that I watch frequently, Better Watch Horror podcast.
Okay.
They reviewed this on their channel and did a great job. It's a really good film, but it is, again, it's brutal. Yes. Really brutal. Yeah.
It's a lot of it's a lot of
like I said, drills to the head. That's how it opens. There's a guy who's walking down the street with a lobotomy.
Yeah, homemade lobotomies. Do not try that at home, children. They got Shiny McShine, because that was just Shine. What's his name? Jeffrey Rush's first big film, wasn't it?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Jeffrey Rush. I mean, he's been in heaps as well. Mystery Men.
Yes.
Doesn't get talked about enough, that film. That's a classic
film, that one. Nearly did that one night. The Pirates 5 films.
Yeah, the Pirates films, yeah. What was that big one he was in? Jeez.
Yeah, now it says here The Invisible Man from 2020 was Australian. Was that filmed in Australia?
I don't know if it was filmed in Australia, but Lee Winnell directed it.
Because he's Australian. That's you learning stuff.
Yeah. And then, of course, Saw.
Yeah.
Not filmed in Australia, but did have Lee Winnell and James Wan.
He did as well.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. This Predestination. I didn't know that.
That's a weird film.
You can explain that one to me.
I can't explain to myself. Jeffrey Rush was in Ned Kelly too, so there
you go.
Yeah, he was also in The House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, of course, yeah, we've got a watch party of that this week, this month. Peter Jackson. Isn't he a Kiwi?
He is, but
Right on this list.
we'll take ownership. Yeah, we'll take ownership. And I mean, you can't go past the original Bad Taste. Like,
yes, I got Dead Alive just popped up on my list, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because how was it? 3 years to make over weekends he did that?
Pretty much.
And it looks...
Shows dedication.
Yeah, it looks... you can't tell, really, that it was made like that, but it's... and how much gore is in it. Well done to them.
Oh, man, just think you've got to have the same haircut, the same everything for 3 years. That's commitment.
That is... Yeah, just making it with your mates.
And here we go. Just popping in.
There they
I
are.
was just talking about Better Watch Horror.
There you go. Promotions.
We're just talking about Beloved Ones.
Ah, yes.
Undead is fantastic. Fantastic.
I think Undead. I'll see if that comes up. Jay's here. Good morning, Jay. Road Games. Now, that was...
Yep.
Jamie Lee Curtis and was it Stacey Keach in Australia on the old trucking roads? Because, yeah, when we were staying in Australia, a couple we knew went on a trip round the Northern Territory, and they said once it gets off onto the dirt track roads, it's the corpses of the wallabies and kangaroos that those truck trains just obliterate on their way around.
Yeah, we recently did a road trip from Adelaide to Canberra. So it's a good, I think it's like 1,200 k's or something like kilometers. Not entirely sure how far it is, but there's just stretches of nothing. Like, it's just nothing. But then you see, that's a wombat that got hit. Oh, that's a kangaroo. But then, funnily enough, we saw, wild emus just on the side of the road, just walking along with their, young ones. So, yeah, it's an amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever been to, was it, I can't remember, is it Huru or Ayers Rock as it was?
Huru? No, I have not. It's one place I've always wanted to go, but never had the chance.
Yeah, and they stopped people climbing on it now, haven't they? So
yes.
For good reason.
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted I did always want to climb Ayers Rock or Uluru, but I get why they've, asked people not to do that now.
Yes. Because talking of history, we've got Rabbit Proof Fence.
Yep. Another great Australian film. And
who did that? That was that's Philip Noyce, of course it is.
Yep.
Okay. And then Kenneth Branagh. There's just hundreds of films here. That Australia claiming as their own. Let's have a look. Strictly Ballroom Babe. We've talked about Babe 2. Then The Wiggles. We haven't talked about The Wiggles.
Do they count as a movie? Like, have they actually had a movie?
They did one movie in 1997, The Wiggles movie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but the lineup's changed now, so.
But while I got you don't seem to have a tinny of Fosters on your lap or anything.
No Fosters for me. Ever. I had that once, and I was overseas, and I realised why we export that now.
Because you can't get it in Australia, can you? You get your Bundaberg and 4X. But yeah, the Australians won't touch it. They just send it away. We don't want it.
No. I had a few drinks last night, so I'm taking it easy tonight.
A Cry in the Dark was another Sam Neill one with Meryl Streep, of course, the baby dingo story, which was very famous at the time.
Yep.
I think it was nominated for Academy Awards.
A lot of them, yeah.
I think I don't know if Meryl Streep won that one. Let's have a look. A lot of I've never heard of, like Last Train to Frio, 10 Canoes.
Yeah, 10 Canoes is it's a classic Australian one, like about the Aboriginal history. I'm not 100% sure yeah, I don't want to go too much into it because I can't remember exactly what it's about.
Let's have a look.
These final
Van Diemen's
hours.
Land. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Joanne's here, and she's watching Strictly Ballroom right now.
She
I
would.
don't have that on VHS. That's weird. I got the soundtrack, but I don't have the VHS.
Yeah, so if you want to watch, if you want to know about Strictly Ballroom, the castle, things like Joanne, you speak to her.
Ah, right. Okay, we got an expert.
Yeah, she can quote the castle. Yeah, all those films. What's the other one? Not the castle.
Yeah,
but,
I'm trying to think. What the other? What the other? I remember coming out the castle, Muriel's wedding, and then
Muriel's wedding. That's it. Yeah,
around the same time, and being very popular over here with the neighbors crowd. I got Age of Consent. I remember Dr. Impossible talking about that one. That's a tricky subject matter. With who's in that? Helen Mirren and James Mason. And then you got what's his name? Billy Connolly in The Man Who Sued God. Apparently, is an Australian film because he spent a lot of time over there.
Yeah,
Over
it was filmed in Sydney, I believe.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we talked Romper Stomper earlier. How Australia is nothing like that. Far Lap, of course. I remember that one.
Yep.
Very big film in the early 80s. Very popular. A biography of a horse. But it's a New Zealand racehorse, but I don't know why it's on the this list.
Because it made the Melbourne Cup.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the famous Melbourne Cup where Australia stops for the day or 2 days, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's great if you're Victorian because you get a public holiday for it. But if you're anywhere else in Australia, you don't.
Oh, because we've got Australia Day coming up at the end of the month, haven't we?
Yep.
Trying to find stuff. Oh, there's that Relic film that came out a few years ago, 2020, about there's more with this horror creeping in, but
it's the one with Lynn Shay.
Isn't it?
I think.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. Is she there? No, I don't see her listed. It's Robin Nevin, Emily Mortimer, and Bella Heathcote, who looks like Sam Weaving, who looks like what's her name? The other one,
Margot Robbie.
That's it. Yeah. So we've got three women that all look alike,
and all Australian.
Yeah, separated at birth, maybe. They're around the same age.
Yeah, well, we've all got cloning facilities in Australia, so
yeah. So yeah, how was the surf this morning? Were you out on the waves this morning? Of course, all Australian surf.
No, shark attacks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when you got all sharks in the canals, you want to stay away from.
We can't go to the supermarket because of the sharks.
What about Little Monsters? That was a pretty good film. Yep. I didn't know that was Australian.
Yeah, filmed in Australia. That wasn't bad. It was enjoyable
It was enjoyable, wasn't it? It was not what stuff you remember. It's only because I saw it then I remembered it existed. The Cars That Ate Paris. Do you know that one?
That's old Australian film.
It's 74. Let's go back a bit. I think I saw that. Oh, it's Paris, Australia, of course. Every country seems to have a Paris. What was it? The Dead End Drive-In?
I've heard of that and I've seen things about it, but I've never actually watched it.
Yeah, it's another apocalyptic thing. Oh, the best Australian. Girls Can't Surf. There's probably another one. But I think that's about it for my list. So, unless you've got any other ones on yours?
Just a couple which I this one here, Subject. A very new one that was sent to me to review. It's interesting, but yeah, it's a very low budget film. I did enjoy it from the psychological aspect of it, but it shows nothing about Australia. It's just an Australian film, but it could be set anywhere in the world. And the other one I got was Charlie's Farm.
Looks like a horror.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Same guy that did Boar, and again, Phil Mosley's in it. So he did a couple of films for that director when he was in Australia. Was this 2007? Something like it was about a little while back. Probably not 2007. Probably about 10 years ago. So he did Boar, he did Charlie's Farm, and yeah, did a few conventions over here. So
nice.
but that one was gruesome.
Oh right, okay. Yeah. But was it practical effects?
Yeah, predominantly practical. I'm just looking through my list here. We got obviously mentioned Upgrade with Lee Winnell, Dark City, Predestination. Let's see, Tomorrow When the War Began.
Oh yes, I remember that coming out in the cinemas. Yeah. Well, I think I was in Australia when that came out. I never saw it though. It's based on a book series, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Huge Australian book series. Like, I think every kid in Australia read it. I don't know if they read it or are reading it now. Maybe a bit dated.
Okay.
Yeah, there's, one of the huge ones that always gets mentioned with Australian cinema is one called Bad Boy Bubby.
Right.
But it's terrible. Like, it's a tough watch. It's just disturbing.
Oh, okay.
But again, Australian film.
And Mr. Aussie, Mr. Binney says Storm Warning.
Yep.
What's that one about?
Oh,
flying sharks.
No, that's any other film. Just trying to think of when it came out. I think it was 2007.
Yeah.
I think if that's the one that I'm thinking of, I have not seen in a long time.
Okay.
But a young couple lost in the thick brush-filled marsh seek refuge in an isolated farmhouse, and discover they've jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire. That sounds good, I guess. If it's the one, because I think there are a couple of films with the same storm warning.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It sounds familiar about that.
I thought there was there a Stephen King movie?
Oh, Storm of the Century.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
There's a 2007 Storm Warning. Ginger Rogers. What's this? Ronald Reagan. Something's going on here. That's 1950 Storm Warning about burning the Ku Klux Klan. I clicked the wrong link. Born in the 70s. Gaming here. Morning. Good morning.
It would be that 2007 one because it was directed by Jamie Blanks, right. Who is an Aussie and also directed Urban Legend.
Bad Boy Bubby, made in Port Adelaide.
Yep.
Right. We've discussed
just down the road from me too.
Just down the road from Sydney. To read off this list of actors who are Australian that people may not know. So, of course, Chris Hemsworth, Hugh Jackman, Eric Bana, Jeffrey Rush, Simon Baker, I keep forgetting he is, Liam Hemsworth, of course, Sam Worthington, Guy Pearce, Joel Edgerton, I keep forgetting he is, Kate Blanchett, Nicole Kidman, Margaret Robbie, I can't say. Jay Courtney, I always forget because I don't think I've ever heard him. All the others I've heard in their native accent. I don't think I've ever heard Jay Courtney's, but I don't know if that's because maybe he moved to America before. Like Mel.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever heard him with an Australian accent either.
Heath Ledger, Ben Mendelsohn, Alex O'Loughlin, Ryan Quatron, Hugo Even, Isla Fisher. I keep forgetting she is because I don't think I've heard her Aussie accent either.
Another one from Home and Away, I think.
Oh yes, she was, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Danny Minogue's career didn't take off, but Kylie's sort of did.
Yeah.
And then Tony Collette, of course. Anthony De La Paglia. I don't know.
Yep.
He's always playing gangsters, American gangsters, isn't he? Mostly in the 90s.
Yeah.
Or Manchester guys.
Was it Anthony or...
Emily
yeah,
Browning.
he was in Empire Records.
Ah.
Yeah. He was the store owner of Record Shop, which, that's a great film. Not Australian, but it's a great film.
Naomi Watts.
Yep.
Mia Wasikowska. I think, was she in
Oh, yeah.
Alice in Wonderland, was she?
Yes.
Rebel Wilson, of course. John Noble.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I haven't mentioned any film with Brian Brown in yet. I'm trying to think of what Aussie one he did. All I think of is like FX and Cocktail.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure was he Two Hands? That was a great one. Breaker Morant. Funnily enough, we mentioned Alex Proyas, who directed Gods of Egypt. Brian Brown was in that.
Yeah, I haven't seen him for a while, I guess.
And he was in Red Dog too.
Yeah. Richard Roxburgh, big in the early 2000s with Van Helsing and Mission Impossible 2. But yeah, that's about it. Of interesting people. Long Weekend was a creepy film atmosphere. I heard of it. Is it Australian? Or has it just got Aussie actors in it? Oh, there's many versions.
Is that the 1978 one?
Yes, it looks like it.
Yeah.
I seem to remember.
Yeah, it sounds pretty creepy.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen that one. There's a Aussie one. Thank you, Gregor. Right, what do I got?
There's also there was a TV movie back in 2000 called On the Beach, which was directed by Russell Mulcahy, starring Brian Brown, Rachel Ward, and Amanda Sante. It's a remake. I think the original was Frank Sinatra.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember that being pretty good. No, Gregory Peck and Ava Gardner. Sorry, not Frank Sinatra.
All right.
Yeah.
Still class actors.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's definitely quite a lot of, and quite a varied range of Australian films,
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think, was there any last year? Big impact ones?
Ooh.
Nothing came up on the list, but yeah.
The Royal Hotel.
Ah.
That's a very new one. That was actually filmed in South Australia. It's got she was in, what's that bloody show? Ozark.
Oh, right.
I just can't think of a name. Like, the name's just escaping me right now. But
just me that I'm alive.
Who's in Julie Garner? I think it had Hugo Weaving's in it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Apparently it's pretty, messed up film.
Okay. What is it with the Aussies and their messed up films?
Backpackers, Australia, need extra cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen The In-Betweeners 2?
Yes. That was actually wasn't as fun as the first one, but it was still.
It was still had its moments, but they were the old backpackers, British kids going.
Speaking of the In-Betweeners, which, obviously, did you ever see the American remake of that show?
No, luckily not.
Oh,
I'm actually no, I tell a lie. I might watch the first episode way back when it came out.
so
I'm
bad.
thinking, let's see how. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was in name only, wasn't it? They couldn't make any of the
Yeah.
jokes.
The humor doesn't translate very well.
No, and play. Yeah, you're trying to appeal to the Midwest in America. I don't know what the sort of stuff they say in the original. Nature's Grave is the remake to one. There you go. Thank you, Gregor.
I haven't heard of that one.
You move me around. See what pictures
Grave. Yeah. And it's got Claudia Carvin, who's an Australian. Yeah. Jim Cazaville, who. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yes, he was.
He's never going to get rid of that, but he probably loves it.
I'm not even sure what else he's been in apart from that.
It's Outlander, where he comes back to Viking. He's a spaceman that comes back to alien times to fight a monster that he brings with him. That's pretty good. But,
Frequency. He was in Frequency.
That's it. Frequency. Yeah, that's
what I remember.
That's a good one.
Yes. What else did you have in the background there? Coca-Cola Kid.
Coca-Cola Kid. I remember the name, but I don't know much about it. But what is that? The Fringe Dwellers. Hang on, let me move picture. Oh, no, that doesn't help. Forehead. I'm trying to think what this one is.
That one that's the one that's right next to you is Malcolm.
Oh yeah,
with Colin Friel in it. That was one I remember watching that as a kid. It's a very old Australian film, but yeah, it's got its moments. It wouldn't. A lot of the humor is not the same now because everything's changed so much since then.
Okay, it's one of those. Trying to think. Yeah, not much in the background there. Oh, that's made it too big. I got the full picture here. So Coca-Cola Kid, We Are the Never Never. That sounds familiar. The Year My Voice Broke, Lonely Hearts, Mutante Khan, Dingo Babies, and Kangaroo. Of course, there's a film called Kangaroo. And that's the only ones with names, but there we go. Oh, you're muted. Did I do that?
No, that was me.
Sorry.
I made the cough and then I forgot that
you're muted. Yeah.
You're talking about kangaroos. It's like no one's mentioned Kangaroo Jack.
I did see that on the list. I thought, should I mention that? I don't want to offend my guest. Now, that's the one with the talking kangaroo, isn't it?
I don't know if he talks or what. It's
I remember now.
a completely CGI kangaroo. and the fat kid from Stand By Me.
Oh yes, Jerry O'Connell. Maybe it's not the one I think of.
Look, I remember Jerry O'Connell from Sliders instead. So
Oh yeah, Sliders is a good one. He redeemed, and then Piranha 3D.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, Christopher Walken was in that too. That had a really good cast. Michael Shannon. Jeez.
Yes. All in a kangaroo film, wasn't it? Yes. Right.
Wow, I might have to revisit that film. Can't be as bad as
I could have VHS, but it didn't come up in my list, so I didn't grab it.
Oh man, it's 21 years old. I'm sure the humor's fine.
I'm sure it'd be funny then.
Aged like a fine wine.
But yeah, I guess, did Skippy get a movie?
I don't know. I'm hoping not. I mean, there's
maybe a TV movie.
Yeah. 208 episodes, so string them together. That's one really long movie.
Was Flipper Australian or was that American?
I'm pretty sure the TV series was Australian, but I mean, not Hulk Hogan, Paul Hogan, he was in the movie.
Of course, the Elijah Wood movie, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, a teenage boy is sent to spend summer with his eccentric uncle on the Florida coast. So I guess that makes it American.
Yeah, unless they filmed it in Australia, it's called it Florida, but yeah.
Yeah, well, they are known to do that.
Hogan hasn't been home for a while. Living in his millionaire's mansion on his own, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he 2 wives down at the moment?
No idea. What else?
Did you ever see Almost an Angel with him?
Oh, a long time ago, and
yeah,
yeah,
it was like early 90s.
That was not a good film.
Big film. It came out on Boxing Day in the UK, advertised everywhere. But yeah, he's good in it. But the whole story is just weird, especially when the guy dies. The guy in the wheelchair dies at the end. Spoilers from blood loss, and it's supposed to be like a happy ending.
Trying to look. Mad Dog Morgan.
Of course there is.
Yeah. Reckless Kelly. Jeez.
I was thinking, We Were Warriors. That's New Zealand.
That's New Zealand, yeah. Close enough. Any New Zealander hears that, they're going to come after me, but, you know. Now, Candy, that was a good one.
Candy?
Yeah, that was...
You are. Is it another rough watch?
Well, for a different reason. It's it's Heath Ledger, and it's all about drugs, and but really good film, really well made.
Okay. Oh, Jeffrey Rush, of course. Of course, we haven't discussed martial arts films because Richard Norton, martial arts expert from Australia, and a lot of films. Was it not On Back? What's it? The sequel, sort of sequel with the elephant being kidnapped, twice taken to Australia. Tony Jaa film. I know it's got a few different names. And was it Jackie Chan spent the 90s in Australia? Was it First Strike and what's the other one? When he's a chef. Mr. Nice Guy.
Yep. Mr. Nice Guy was actually really good. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it's got some good action. First Strike is like
Who Am I?
Who Am I?
That was filmed in Australia.
Yeah, I think a lot of it. And what's the one? I'm trying to think where Jackie Chan takes out the bad guy's building. I think it's Richard Norton's building in with a hovercraft. Or was that no? Maybe mixing up my films now.
The hovercraft was
Rumble in the Bronx.
I just watched it. Yes, that was it.
Right. Oh, it's a truck he drives into the house. Yeah, I'm confusing the film now. And then, they destroyed this. They built this house, destroyed this house, and then left the mess and got told off. Stone. That's a 70s film.
Yes, it is. I have. If I have seen it, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, I told her there's a lot of people called Stone as well. Emma, Sharon, Bryan Cranston for some reason. It's not titles. No, 2010. Stone Cold. Stone, 1974. There it is. I'm meaning to watch this one. It's got a good write up. And Derek Barnes.
Yeah.
Nice. Directed by Sandy Harbert. But yeah, motorcycle gangs from Australia.
There's a name I recognise in it. Hugh Keys Byrne. Toe Cutter from
I saw the picture. I was trying to think who is that. Yes.
What's this one? Harlequin. That sounds familiar.
Yeah. What's the poster say? It's
But I
before
think,
Mad Max on
yeah,
Road Warrior Stone. I think I have seen it many years ago. And there's Turkey shooting the listing. The Man from Hong Kong, because George Lazenby as a character called JB, I believe that was, and yeah, it's supposed to be like and Hugh Key Burns is in that as well. Of course he is. But yeah, of course he's. Oh, Brian Trenchard Smith. Now is he? I've been looking at his work recently. Yes. So yeah, he's an Australian. Last thing he did was Drive Hard with John Cusack, though, unfortunately. But he's done a lot of strange films.
Drive Hard, Drive Angry. Seems like Nick Cage and John Cusack and a theme going.
Oh, he directed BMX Bandits and Turkey Shoots. There you go. Oh, Stunt Rock. I remember that one. But yeah, sounds like an interesting guy to talk to. Harlequin with Robert Powell's in it.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Harlequin, I have not seen.
I might have seen it. It rings a bell that Robert Powell's in it. And The Reef. Yeah, I've seen The Reef.
Yeah.
But Reef and Open Water and all those merge into one, so I can never remember what happens.
So at least with bait, you know that's sharks in the supermarket.
Yes. They're in one place, and then you can't change that. But if they're in the open water, it could be any film. Right.
Yeah. I'm going through and I'm seeing we've went through most of them.
Yes, I think
there's quite a few we haven't, but
yeah, they don't ring a bell. It could be.
Yeah, I mean, there's some like Boytown.
Okay.
Which is basically it's about a boy band, but now they've aged like 20 years later, and they're making a comeback. And it's got a lot of those, Aussie actors, which you kind of recognize if you've seen those, fast forward, full frontal TV shows, because they're in a lot of them. And yeah, it's got its moments of funniness, but it is like the humor is so Australian. Like I wouldn't be too sure if anyone would actually get the humor in it if they're not Australian. But yeah, a lot of fun. We watched it a couple of months back, and I had never seen it. So my partner introduced me to it. So
sounds good. Right, I'm going to wrap this up then. You've had your 90 minutes.
Sounds good.
I think we're running out of films anyway, so it's getting late for you now, I guess. On a Sunday night, isn't it? Yeah. So
yeah.
All right.
Still early for me, so I'll probably go and watch another movie. Might try and find an Australian movie to watch.
A nice Australian
to choose from.
Yes, there was. So thanks for the ninja for joining me. Oh, now look who's turned up late as usual. Always at the end of these bloody things. Oh, and then we got Calico Productions. Good morning. So yes, I should have put a fake background up for me as well. Of course, I'm not in Australia, so it wouldn't count. Right, so thanks for the ninja. Check out his channel. I think I will put the link in the description because this was hastily put together. I did put his link in the description just before I started. So he's doing his Trashy Tuesdays. So look out for Turkey Shoot review coming soon.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that eventually.
But for now, until later on, I will be doing A Perfect Weapon on Backtrack Cinema's channel. So, and then we'll do the other ones tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks to the ninja.